Ladies and gentlemen, this is Tateona Williams, the homeless woman who lost her two children, 9-year-old Darnell Currie Jr. and 2-year-old A'millah Currie, to hypothermia while parked in a casino parking lot garage. Now, one would wonder, why would a person that's homeless with kids park in a casino parking garage? Usually casino parking lots are well lit, you got access to amenities such as bathroom and food, cameras everywhere, security patrol. With all these things, it should make it a safe space, especially if you're homeless with kids. But with all these things being true, is that the only reason she parked there? Let's break down the events leading up to what really happened to these two kids. But before we get started, do us a favor by smashing that like button and support us by subscribing to the channel. With that said, let's talk about it.
It's a matter of opinion. If I'm right, but I'm leaving no for now to go outside, putting chores and obligations on our part.
I'm your mother. I lost a 2-year-old. I'm dying inside. It hurt. I feel like my heart is breaking, and I have 2 more kids to live for.
It's been a long journey for Tateona Williams with an even tougher battle ahead. She spent the last 3 months living in a van with her children.
And I regret having to sleep out there so bad. I tell them I'm sorry, but I tried. I tried to keep hotels. I tried to pay people to stay there. It wasn't working for me.
1 a.m. on Monday morning, they parked at the Hollywood Greektown Casino parking garage in below freezing temps. Overnight, the car ran out of gas, and the next day, her 9-year-old son was not breathing.
I tried to give him CPR, and I was just giving him CPR. I just kept saying, Petty, don't leave me. Don't.
Her friend helped take him to the hospital. Her 2-year-old daughter was also found unresponsive. Both were later pronounced dead from what appears to be hypothermia. In a press conference, the mayor and city leaders confirmed that Tateona did call the city's homeless response team back in November, but nothing ever came of it.
At least as far as we've been able to determine so far, the family never called back again for service.
Now, as sad as that story sounds and as depressed as she seemed, I gotta say this. For you to be homeless with your mother, I'm sorry. Your mother failed you. Your mother failed you in preparing you for life. For you to be homeless in a van with 5 kids and your mother, this makes no sense to me. And I understand mistakes do happen, but 5 times and you're not financially secure to raise these kids? It just doesn't make sense to me. And you say that you called the homeless shelter back in November. You didn't think to do no follow-up? I mean, I don't know about you guys, but I saw Pursuit of Happiness with Will Smith. What did you see him doing with his son every day when it came to the shelter? He was first in line. He made sure he got his butt there as he was working. But hey, we understand things in life, circumstances can happen. A lot of things can happen that can impede you from doing that. But after you lost your children and you started a GoFundMe, literally days, and I mean days after you lost your 2 children, you post this online?
A few moments later.
Where were these friends or family members when you were homeless and looking for a place to stay? Where were they at? Because they clearly seem to be involved in your life. And you guys seem to be living your best life. And the crazy thing about it is that once she uploaded this video of her having the best time of her life after losing 2 of her children, where you saw her crying hysterically, these hyenas actually came to her defense. They literally came to her defense, defending her and saying, oh, why should a person be living in their sadness? What's wrong with having fun? This makes no sense. Like, people are not looking or reading in between the lines of what actually happened.
Black women have the support of a massive group that participates in ratchet behavior and ratchet thinking. Now, white, Asian, and Hispanic, they got ratchet people, but you had to go away from the group to do that. They don't house you. They don't nurture that. The Black community, the massive group accepts it and nurtures it It's totally backwards. Rather than sending the ratchets away, the massive Black groups bring the ratchets. There's a safe space for them. When they're confronted, you look like the minority because you are the minority that confronts that culture, and they're the majority. This is the only group, this is the culture where the ratchets has the power socially. The nerds, the high value minded people. When I'm talking about high values, I'm talking about pro-social values, generosity, respect, honor, faithfulness, kindness. I'm talking about community. High values your way of being. The people like us, we in the Black community are the rejects. In other groups, the ratchets are the rejects. In other groups, that's for entertainment for them. They go home doing the right thing. The smart people are elevated because they know you're the key to our progress. In our group, the smart ones are rejected and they think you trying to, oppress them. It's interesting. You so backwards. You think we trying to oppress you. We trying to free you.
Why couldn't she do this GoFundMe while she was homeless and secure a place? In my opinion, you didn't want the kids. I'm sorry. You didn't want the kids. And I know people are saying, where's the kids' dad? Where are they at? I'm glad you asked.
Darnell Currie Jr. wiped away tears while talking with me about his children.
I went to the gym. As soon as I got on the treadmill, she called saying, can I make it to the hospital right now? They got him. I was hoping it was a sick joke, but it wasn't.
Had Tateona ever reached out asking to?
No, she did not. All she said was, can I get him? Can I get him just to get him? And can I get him because y'all homeless? That's two different things.
She said she had been homeless for 3 months.
See, that's what I saw, about 3 months, but she ain't never said nothing to me. Nothing. So all them other sob stories, they can cut all that. No, she did not. She just asked, can I get him for a couple of days? But I told her I'm working and all that, and I'm out here. We're not close to each other, so I couldn't. But she knows all my family is right around the corner from her.
Did she reach out to any of your family?
No, she did not. And she knows she could have, like we always used to do.
He says the last time he held his children was a month or two ago, and that they typically FaceTime. Moments he will miss.
Now, when the dad spoke, people took to the comment section talking about how can a man not want his children and how can he not take his children? Why do you need a reason to take your children if the mother is asking about you taking the children? Well, as a working man that works, on average 45 to 50 hours a week, when you're in a situation where you're working these hours, and again, we don't know how much hours this guy worked, we don't know anything about what he's doing. But as a man, if you're working and you're putting in hours, it's kind of difficult when you have steps in place as far as parenting. It's gonna be difficult if it's just you and now you gotta navigate with the kids as far as how you're getting them to school, how you getting them to school, how you getting to work, and all these things. It's not as easy. That's why you have plans in place. I guarantee if she would have said, hey, I'm homeless, I really need you to take these kids, then from there, all that other stuff go out the window. But if you're not being transparent about the situation, especially when you have family members that are in the area that can also aid, and then you elect not to me, something ain't right. It's not adding up. It's really not adding up to me. At the end of the day, if you know you can't financially take care of these kids, give the kids to the parent that actually can take care of the kids and have a safe space for them. Why hold on to your ego just to prove to everybody that you can make it through life as a single parent? To me, that's foolish and that's stupid, and on top of that, that's selfish. The parent that can actually have a safe space and is financially secure enough to raise the kid, that's the parent that should be the one to, take responsibility and actually live with the child. People's ego get in the way, and then when things ain't going right, instead of coming out and confessing and saying, yo, I thought I was gonna be able to do this, but I can't. Here, take this kid, and once I get on my feet, then we'll revisit this. But yet they wanna live the lie and make it seem on social media or whatever that they actually strong and can do this, yada yada, but yet inside they're suffering. They're the one at night crying their eyes out. I don't care if, as a woman, if you push the child out of your womb. So what? It still takes two. And at the end of the day, once that child is born, guess what? I'm still one half of the parent.
You have a child with him?
Yes.
That's not your child. That's both of your child. So judges and probation officers who still don't get that message, but fathers are not second-class citizens. Sometimes they're actually better parents. Not always. Sometimes it's 50-50. But it's on a case-by-case basis. But anybody that says to me, can't take my daughter with him, it's not yours. It's both of yours.
Yes! In the face!
Because just think about it. You have situations where you have dads that are asking for these kids, right? They're asking for these kids. For whatever reason, that mother want to hold on to these kids. So what does the guy does? The guy set up his lifestyle around the scheduling of when he's going to see his kids. So as far as work and all of these things are perfectly aligned so that when it's time to see the kids, there's nothing to interfere with that. So if you're gonna throw a monkey wrench and don't have an explanation for why you're throwing the monkey wrench, and clearly you have family around that can help, I'm sorry, the average person would probably have the same reaction. And the fact that you weren't transparent about it, like I said, it tells me you did not want these kids. Now, after looking at everything on a whole, the fact that you didn't tell the father exactly why you wanted him to get the kids, you didn't start the GoFundMe, you didn't follow up with the homeless shelters to try and find, immediate housing or something like that. All of these things, it said that you were working 2 jobs, your mother's not working, you're living in a van, all of these things. Your family members are claiming, hey, I'm there for you, because you're clearly living your best life, partying it up, all of these things, but yet you're living in a van with your kids. I'm sorry. In my opinion, you didn't want these kids. You parked at a casino, and I would not be surprised if you went gambling. Why didn't you catch hypothermia? Why didn't the mother catch hypothermia? Why is it only those kids caught hypothermia and not you? And then to put the icing on the cake, literally days after these children passed and you had this GoFundMe set up, you guys are partying and living your best life. You didn't even bury these kids yet. You didn't even have the funeral service yet, and you're partying, yucking it up. Does that seem like a parent that actually lost their kid through unfortunate circumstances? Because clearly you're living your best life after you lost these children. Now, I understand that you got people that handles death and handles unfortunate circumstances in a different light. But when I see you on the news crying, boo-hooing, all of these things, talking about this, the worst thing that happened to me, I don't expect to see you yucking it up, partying, throwing it back and all of these things like nothing ever happened. If I would have walked up in that party and somebody told me, yo, that chick right there just lost 2 of her kids, and the way you acting, do you honestly think I would believe you? Would you guys believe it? Absolutely not. So I hope the police definitely look deep into the investigation on what happened, review all the security footage, all of these things, because something is not right with this whole situation and things just aren't adding up. But with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, let me know what your thoughts in the comment section is. Do you think this woman is being genuine about what happened? Or do you think there was some foul play of what happened to these 2 children? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section. Like, share, subscribe, don't forget to comment. And if you want to see how a teen genius basically threw her life away, click the card that just popped up. Catch you on the next one. Peace.
It's a matter of opinion.